welcome back to Wonders in Arts, and today we have a Paletteful Packs box opening, not unopening. That would be a closing, wouldn't it? It is the June 2021 Paletteful Packs, and this is the second Paletteful Packs that I have tried. So let's see what we have. We have Teal Crinkle, a little bottle, Melts Holbein Colored Pencil Blender. Ooh, pencil blender. I have not tried much other than an alcohol marker to blend colored pencil, so that's kind of cool. And oh, we have colored pencils. Colored pencils. Crinkle everywhere. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay, we have a brush. A Princeton Select. Oh, those are good. A number 4 round. So those are always good. And we have Holbein Artist's Colored Pencil from Japan. And I actually just saw a review of these a couple days ago from Lindsay Wyrich at the Frugal Crafter. So she has done a full in-depth review of these if you are interested, just recently. But yeah, what colors do we have? We have Rose, we have Cherry Blossom, Wisteria, Lettuce Green, Naples Yellow, and Sky Blue. And most of these are pastels, which is, I've still got ink all over my hands, which is cool because when I was watching the review from the Frugal Crafter, she said that if she was going to invest in any of them, it would be the pastels. So that's really cool. We've got a set of mostly pastels, and they're really pretty spring colors. So let's see what else is in here. Crinkle. Oh. We have Stabilo Aquarelle. That means watercolor, I guess. Or water soluble at least. Paper Glass Plastic Metal. Huh, interesting. It's a pencil. It has a swan on the end. But no crystals, so it's not Swarovski. But it's from the Czech Republic. Is that a Czech thing? Swans? Oop, I don't even know. Yeah, so this will be cool. Since it works on plastic, it might also be good for UPO and similar synthetic papers, which is kind of cool, so that would be a fun thing to try. We have our sticker, which is a little notebook. What is our surface? Crescent Creative Products illustration boards, 8x10, 3 of them, cold press surface on rigid board for pencil, colored pencil, pastel, and ink. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so that is that. I think I'm gonna grab some different paper to swatch on so I don't use up one of these boards, and we will test these out. And I might grab some of my other colored pencils as well and you know, compare some similar colors. So let's get started. Okay, so let's do some swatches. I have grabbed a Strathmore colored pencil pad, which I've actually not tried out yet, so figured I would try that out since we have colored pencils. And let's see, this is the Stabilo Aquarellable. I'm sure I'm murdering that pronunciation, but I'm going to assume that means water soluble. So Stabilo, and that is this. All right, and let's see. Yes, it is water soluble because that's just water on this brush. I have not broken out the pencil blender yet. So very cool there. All right, this is Wisteria. It's a very pretty color. I believe these Holbein pencils are oil-based rather than wax-based, so that's something to know. And let's see, lettuce green. Is very cool. These also have numbers on them. Oh, and they have little stars as well. And my understanding is the stars are the light fastness rating, and the more stars the better. So this one is a 3-star. These others look like they are all 2. So the rose is the most light fast, and it's also the darkest color, which I guess makes sense. Although reds usually do fade pretty quickly compared to other colors, and I believe that this is their own light fastness scale, not an individually, vetted one. Sky blue. This one is Naples yellow. And this is Cherry Blossom. Okay, these are Holbein. All right, I want to see how these layer. Looks like these are layering decently well. Not really. I got kind of an orange there. All right, let's try out this. Okay, it is not smelly. It is kind of vaguely citrusy. And I don't have a thing to put it in, so I'm just gonna put a drop right there. Thank you, dollar store. I think I used a bit much of the pencil blend. Less is more, I believe, with the pencil blend. Okay. So yeah, so I'll have to play a little bit more with the pencil blending stuff, but it looks like it's pretty cool. So yeah, so I'll try that out. I did grab a couple other pencils that I have that are similar in color. This is Cream from Prismacolor, which is much lighter than this yellow, and then Sand. Well, Sand is about the same color, just about the Naples yellow color. So you can see that. I tend to prefer Prismacolors. I like how soft and creamy they are. And I'm going to try the pencil blend with the Prisma too, because I know I'm going to want to use it with the Prisma. Looks like it works better with the Holbein. Which makes sense because Holbein is an oil-based pencil and Prismas are wax-based. So that would make a difference, I would assume. This is Prismacolor Magenta. Which looks pretty similar to the Rose. And I mean, I don't feel a whole lot of difference. I think the Prismas are a little creamier than the Holbeins. Holbeins are a little bit harder. Let's see, I have Parma Violet from Prismacolor, which is very similar to the Wisteria, a little darker. And I also, this is the only Derwent Lightfast I currently have, Wild Lavender, which is also pretty similar. I suspect the light fastness rating is probably better for the Derwent, and it's a little pinker, but I would say the Derwent Lightfast probably feels closer to the Holbein than it does to the Prismacolor. The Prismacolor is softer, so that might be some helpful information there. I don't really have a similar color to this Lettuce Green in Prismacolor. I don't have the biggest set Prismacolor makes. I have one step down from that. But yeah, I don't have quite the same color there. This is light cerulean blue in Prismacolor, and it looks fairly similar, a little darker, a little more cool tone purple than the sky blue. So there we go. There are some swatches. And let's see what we can make. Okay, so I decided not to use one of the illustration boards just yet. I want to save those for something a little nicer after I've gotten more experience with the pencils. So I'm using the Strathmore colored pencil paper, and I decided to do a soap bubble floating in the sky based on the colors that we have. I was able to use all of the colors except for the green. I probably could have thrown that in there somewhere, but I just didn't. I did sharpen all of these except for the green, and they sharpened very well. They didn't break. They held a nice sharp point. Even the black water-soluble one, which does write pretty well on plastic. I tested that just on a piece of plastic, and it wrote pretty well, so that's cool. So I mostly just blocked in the colors of the bubble, trying to enhance the colors, make them a little more intense than they were in the photo. But to get in all the reflections and stuff. And then later on, I will add some blue around the edge for the sky. I did wish that I had a white pencil. In order to blend out my pencils, I usually burnish using a white Prismacolor or a colorless blender from Prismacolor. And I really felt like it would have been nice to have a white pencil to be able to smooth these out with that without making it too dark. The pencil blender did work quite well. You have to be very sparing with how much you use. You can always add more. But yeah, I liked it. I like these pencils. I think they turned out nice. I think in the future, though, I might actually either invest in a white pencil from Holbein or see if my white Prismacolor pencil will work to burnish those as well, just to see how that works. But I'm glad to have the pencil blender to use instead, because sometimes you don't want to darken it, you don't want to lighten it, you don't want to add another color, you just want to smooth it out, and so that's exactly what that's for. I just went in and added some more color here just to intensify things a little bit. That's how I tend to work in colored pencils is just layer, layer, layer. And here I'm smoothing it out with the pencil blender, which worked out quite nicely. And I did find that the pencil blender did intensify the colors just slightly, which I thought was nice. You know, it is a soap buttable, so I wanted it to be very pretty with that sort of oil slick appearance. So yeah, I smoothed out some of the sky with the pencil blender as well. I just used tiny drops of it, and I did dab it off on a paper towel in between so that there wasn't too much on the brush. It's a fine balance, I think, between having too much so that it liquefies and moves the colored pencil and just enough for it to thin it out and, you know, smooth it out. So here I grabbed the black water-soluble pencil and just added some more darks in the most dark areas of the reference photo, and then I smoothed that out a little bit with the with just water on the brush, and I found that actually can go quite dark if you especially if you touch the wet brush to the tip of the pencil. You can pull some color off of it like a watercolor pencil and get a quite dark black. I had a little issue there in the top left corner of the bubble, but I think later I mostly got that fixed, but not entirely. Here I am playing with a electric eraser that I just got from Amazon, and these color pencils did erase quite well with that. I was pretty pleased with how that worked, and I was glad that I had gotten that. So just back and forth. Here I switched the electric eraser to a teeny tiny eraser just to add some highlights with that to give it a little bit more of a glossy look. The reference photo didn't really have that, but I wanted it anyway. So, and there we go. There is our soap bubble. Thanks for watching.